There are two words you say every single day without realizing that each time you speak them, you're not just describing your reality, you're commanding it. Two words, so simple, so common, that we don't question them. We use them to describe how we feel, what we think, who we are. I am tired. I am broke. I am not good enough. I am just trying to survive. Or maybe, I am strong. I am healing. I am ready. Most people think these are just statements, harmless descriptions of what's happening. But they're not. Every time you say I am, you are sending a direct command to your subconscious mind and broadcasting an instruction to the quantum field. You're not describing your reality, you're selecting it. The words I am are the interface between your identity and the infinite possibilities that surround you. They are not observations, they are activations. And science is finally catching up with what mystics have known for thousands of years. When you declare I am, you're not waiting for something to happen. You are stepping into a frequency, and that frequency becomes your life. The question is, are you using this power consciously or unconsciously? Because right now, in this moment, you are declaring who you are with. Every I am statement that passes through your mind or leaves your lips, and the quantum field, your nervous system, your cells, they're all listening, not to judge you, to obey you. This is entangled mind. And if you're ready to understand why I am is the most powerful spiritual technology you'll ever encounter, and how to use it to rewrite your reality from the frequency level up, stay with me. Because what you're about to discover will change not just how you speak, but who you become. Let's ground this in something real, something measurable. You've probably heard of the placebo effect. A person takes a sugar pill, they believe it's medicine, and their body begins to heal. Documented, repeatable, scientifically verified. But what's actually happening there? It's more than belief, it's identity. The person isn't just thinking, I hope this works. Something deeper happens. Their subconscious begins to accept, I am healing. And that identity, that I am declaration, creates physiological change, measurable change, real change. Now take that principle and expand it beyond the body, into your relationships, your finances, your purpose, your entire reality. Every area of your life is a reflection not of what you want, but of who you believe you are. That's the critical distinction most people miss. You don't attract what you want, you attract what your nervous system is, trained to accept as I am. Let me say that again because it's the key to everything. You don't manifest what you desire, you manifest what you identify as. This isn't motivational talk. This is neuroscience. Your brain operates on something called neuroplasticity. It means your neural pathways are constantly being rewired based on repeated thoughts and behaviors. But here's what they don't tell you. The brain doesn't distinguish between a positive I am and a negative one. It just follows instructions. It just builds the reality you keep broadcasting. When you say I am tired every morning, your brain hears that as a command. It begins producing the chemistry of exhaustion. When you say I am broke, your subconscious starts filtering your perception to confirm that identity. You literally stop seeing opportunities because your identity isn't looking for them. But when you say I am abundant and you feel it in your body, when your nervous system aligns with that frequency, something different happens. Your brain starts producing the chemistry of abundance. Your perception shifts. Opportunities that were always there suddenly become visible. This is not wishful thinking. This is how your biology works. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research proves this. When people enter elevated, Emotional states gratitude, love, certainty, and declare a new identity. Their brain waves change. Their heart coherence increases. Their electromagnetic field expands. They become a different signal. And the quantum field responds to that signal. Because from a quantum physics perspective, this makes perfect sense. The observer effect shows us that the act of observation determines the behavior of particles at the quantum level. But what determines what you observe? Your consciousness, your expectations, your identity. When you declare I am, you're aligning your conscious and subconscious mind with a specific version of reality. And that alignment begins to collapse the wave of infinite potentials into a single experience. The one you called in with I am. This isn't abstract theory. This is the mechanism of reality creation. And most people are using it unconsciously, collapsing realities they don't want, simply because they're declaring identities they didn't choose. I am is not an affirmation. It's a declaration of frequency. And your frequency doesn't lie. You can say, I am abundant 1,000 times, but if your internal state is wired for lack, if your body still carries the chemistry of scarcity, the field receives lack. Because the field doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your state. That's why this work isn't about repeating mantras. It's about embodying identity. When you say, I am, with coherence, when your thoughts, emotions, and body all align, you become magnetic. Not to random luck, but to the exact vibrational match of who you've declared yourself to be. And this is where most people get stuck. They keep saying, I am unconsciously, based on past pain, based on limitation, based on programming they inherited from childhood, from culture, from survival. And they wonder why their reality doesn't change. But it is changing. It's just reflecting the I am they keep broadcasting. So before we go deeper, ask yourself, what have I been telling the universe? I am? Because that answer is the life you're living right now. And if you don't like that life, the solution isn't to change the circumstances. It's to change the I am. Pause here, breathe, let that sink in. Because everything is about to shift. Now that you understand the neuroscience, let's go deeper into the quantum mechanics of I am. Because this is where science and spirituality finally shake hands. In quantum physics, there's a principle called superposition. It means that all possible realities exist simultaneously as waves of probability until they're observed. The moment observation occurs, the wave collapses into one reality. And here's the key. You are the observer. Not passive, active, choosing. And I am is how you choose. Think about it. Right now, there's a version of you that's successful. A version that's healthy. A version that's loved. A version that's free. These aren't future possibilities. They're present probabilities. They exist right now in the quantum field as wave patterns, as potential timelines. And every time you say, I am, you're tuning into one of those timelines. You're not creating them, you're selecting them. This is the secret that changes everything. You're not trying to become someone new. You're choosing to align with a version of you that already exists. And alignment happens through identity. When you say, I am confident, and you feel it in your body, you're not lying to yourself. You're tuning into the timeline where that version of you is real. And the more you sustain that frequency, the more that timeline collapses into your experience. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls this becoming familiar with the future. You rehearse the emotional state of your desired reality until your body believes it's already happened. And when your body believes it, your cells begin to respond. Your chemistry changes. Your electromagnetic field shifts. you become a different signal, and different signals collapse different realities. Bruce Lipton's research in epigenetics proves this from a cellular level. He discovered that your genes don't determine your destiny. Your environment does. But not your external environment, your internal environment. The environment you create through your beliefs, your emotions, your identity. When you shift your I am, you literally change the chemical environment of your cells. And your cells respond by expressing different genes, by creating different proteins, by building a different body. This is not metaphor. This is biology. You are not stuck with who you've been. You can become someone new in this moment. Not by changing your circumstances, by changing your I am. But here's where it gets even more powerful. According to physicist John Wheeler, we live in a participatory universe. Reality is not something fixed that we observe. It's something we participate in creating. Your consciousness isn't a passenger, it's the sculptor. And I am is the chisel. Every time you declare I am healthy and feel it in your body, you're not asking the universe for health. You're collapsing into the version of you that already exists in perfect health. The field doesn't need convincing. It needs coherence. And coherence happens when your I am statement matches your emotional state, your neural patterns, your cellular chemistry. When everything is saying the same thing, the quantum field has no choice but to reflect it, not eventually, immediately. The lag between declaration and manifestation is not because the universe is slow. It's because you're not sustaining the frequency. You say, I am abundant for 5 minutes in meditation, then spend 23 hours and 55 minutes broadcasting I am lacking, and the field, being perfectly responsive, keeps giving you more reasons to lack. So the practice isn't complex. It's just sustained. You don't need more techniques. You need more consistency. You need to return to your chosen I am again and again throughout the day. Not as a performance, as a truth, until it becomes so natural that you forget you ever identified as anything else. That's when the quantum collapse happens. That's when reality reorganizes. That's when people around you start saying, you've changed. And they're right. You have. Not because you worked harder, but because you became different. And different frequencies collapse different realities. This is the quantum truth of I am. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. Now let's bring this into the spiritual dimension. Because I am isn't just physics and biology. It's sacred. In the Bible, when Moses asked God for his name, God said, I am that I am. Not I was or I will be. I am. Present tense. Eternal. Infinite. The name of God is I am. And when you speak those words, you're not just describing yourself. You're claiming your divine nature. You're remembering that you are not separate from the creative force of the universe. You are it. Localized, expressed, aware. Neville Goddard understood this deeply. He taught that I am is the name of God dwelling in you. And whatever you attach to I am, you become. If you say, I am weak, you invoke the creative power to experience weakness. If you say, I am powerful, you invoke that same power to experience power. The creative force doesn't judge. It obeys. And I am is the command. This is why Neville said, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Not hope for it, not visualize it. Assume it. Claim I am as if it's already true. And live from that assumption until the world catches up, because in the quantum field, it's already true. You're just tuning into the timeline where it's visible. Florence Scovel Shinn called this the divine pattern. She said there's a version of you that already knows what it feels like to be whole, worthy, free, abundant. That version isn't in the future, it's in the field, right now. And I am is how you access it. But let's be real, this isn't about faking it. You can't say, I am successful, while your body is vibrating with fear and expect the universe to be fooled. The field doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your state. So the practice is not about lying to yourself, it's about becoming someone new. Here's how you do it. First, choose your I am declaration. What identity do you want to embody? Not what you want to have, who you want to be. Maybe it's, I am peace, I am love, I am freedom. Keep it simple. Keep it true to your soul. Second, generate the feeling. Close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and feel what it would be like to fully live as that identity. Not think about it, feel it. Let your body begin to believe it. Let your nervous system relax into it. This is not visualization. This is embodiment. Third, sustain the frequency throughout your day. Set reminders. Place your hand on your heart. Take conscious breaths. And every time you notice you've slipped back into the old, I am the one, of lack, doubt, fear, gently return to the new one. No judgment, just return. Again and again, until the new identity becomes your baseline. Fourth, let your actions flow from the new state. Don't force yourself to act as if, in ways that feel fake. But notice, when you're in the frequency of, I am confident, how do you naturally speak, walk, choose? Let the actions emerge from the state. Don't perform the actions to create. The state? That's backwards. Fifth, trust the quantum field. You don't need to know how it will happen. You don't need to see the path. Your job is to be the frequency. The field's job is to collapse the reality. And it will, not always in the way you expect, often in ways more elegant than you could imagine. But it requires trust, surrender, letting go of control. This is the spiritual practice of I am. And when you do it consistently, something profound happens. You stop feeling like you're trying to manifest something. You start feeling like you're remembering something. Because you are. You're remembering the version of you that never forgot who you really are. The version that's always been whole, always been powerful, always been divine. And I am is the bridge back to that truth. Now, let's talk about what happens when you start doing this. Because resistance will come, and you need to be ready for it. The moment you declare a new I am, a voice will push back. No, you're not. It sounds like reason, it feels like reality, but it's actually your subconscious trying to protect you. See, your subconscious mind has been programmed with your old identity, the one built through childhood, through trauma, through survival. And that identity feels safe, familiar. So when you declare a new I am, your subconscious scans for inconsistency. It says, that's not who we are. Not because it hates you, because it's trying to keep you alive based on past data. This is the paradox of transformation. Your nervous system is wired for familiarity, not fulfillment. So even if the new identity feels exciting, your body will tense, your thoughts will spiral, your old stories will try to reassert control. This is not sabotage, it's outdated programming. And now you're here to rewrite it. How? Through coherence? Dr. Joe Dispenza's research shows that when your heart and brain enter coherence, meaning they're in sync emotionally and electrically, your nervous system calms. Your body becomes receptive. Your field becomes organized. And your I am declarations begin to integrate at a deeper level. So when resistance comes, don't fight it. Don't force positivity over it. Just breathe. Return to your heart and repeat your I am from a place of calm. Over time, the resistance weakens, not because you defeated it, but because you stop feeding it. You're teaching your body through repetition and emotion that the new identity is safe. And once it feels safe, it becomes familiar. And once it's familiar, it becomes normal. And once it's normal, the quantum field reflects it. This is how you become someone new, not by forcing it, by allowing it. And I am is the key that unlocks the door. So here's what you need to understand as you move forward. I am is not just a phrase. It's a frequency, a command, a creative force. Every time you say it, you're not describing who you are. You're declaring who you're becoming. And the quantum field, your nervous system, your cells, they all respond, not to your words, to your state. So the practice is simple. Choose your I am consciously. Feel it deeply. Sustain it consistently. And watch as your reality reorganizes around the new you. Not because you forced it, but because you became it. Before you go, I want you to do something powerful. In the comments, complete this sentence. I am. One word, one declaration, one frequency. Let it be your signal to the quantum field, your statement to the universe. And if this video activated something in you, if you felt the truth of I am resonating in your cells, subscribe. Subscribe not just for content, but for transformation, for truth, for the quantum awakening that's already happening inside you. Because I am is not something you learn, it's something you remember. And the moment you remember it, everything changes. This is Entangled Mind, and you are the frequency of your new reality. I am.